Hold up.
Yes.
If the Deltamatics are gigging,
Yeah.
then downtown is thriving?
Think about it.
You're blowing my mind.
Just know that this winding road leads me home to you. The hardest street boys, hardest street boys, hardest street boys. It's the hardest street boys.
Like and subscribe. Yeah. Man, we got a big episode.
We do.
Huge.
We
We say that every time, but it feels like it's getting bigger every time.
every time.
We got Tyler Tisdale,
Tyler Tisdale.
singer-songwriter,
Old Tiz.
local guy, baller. Dude, he's killing it on Spotify.
Dude, Tyler's... oh, man. I'm just so excited he's here.
Dude, it's gonna be great, and we're gonna sit down and talk to him, and we're gonna have him perform in front of a live studio audience.
Say what?
Yes, it's another one of those. So excited.
Here we are. We're back
We're back.
for another episode.
Man, last week was so great.
It really was.
Gracie Nichols, bro. What a really cool message she brought to the show. I thought it was not just about running a business, but like handling bullies and doing what you want. I feel like it's kind of cool that there's a commonality. Like the things that serve you in dealing with bullies or haters, as they're called these days,
Haterade.
are also the same things that aid you in starting and then maintaining your own business. Kind of funny how that works.
Yeah.
So,
It is interesting,
yeah.
the correlation there.
And it's super cool. But yeah, this past week was nice. Working hard.
Working hard.
Hard.
Yeah, speaking of working hard, I'm sure you already know, we're talking about it, but the people don't know that I went to work out at Versus
Yeah,
for the
you
first
did.
time.
Yeah, you did.
And
What'd you? Okay,
a
so
lot of encouragement from my friends.
so what'd you think about it first visit?
I think joining any gym, or I don't know if I'm necessarily joining, but trying anything for the first time can be a little intimidating. Mm-hmm. But it was very nice atmosphere, very accepting. It was nice to have some friends there who were, hey, this is just kind of showing me the lay of the land, showing you where things are. Mm-hmm. And a lot of positive attitudes, a lot of positive people, and very encouraging. So yeah, I enjoyed it, and I'll probably go back. So.
Yeah. Well, and you don't have to go every day either. I think it's one of those things too. Like if you get into it, like I'm real into it, but I always tell people like, man, just do like once a week or twice.
You're into it?
Yeah. You work out,
I couldn't tell.
bro. You work out. You lift. Well, but I think that turns people off too. Because when I'm going, like, hey, I go every day. You need to go. You're like, okay, calm down, man. Like I don't even.
Yeah,
I'm undecided.
But I'll just say that when I left, I felt, it was one of those things where I obviously don't break a sweat enough. And it was a good day where, the next day or the day after, I could definitely tell in my triceps that I had been doing something. So,
that little horseshoe.
Exactly. So I'm just saying, it takes a little encouragement, but I went and I did it and I felt good. I still feel good.
And you said you burned out on the buy-in, which means, so the workout we did, you have to ski, and then you do the actual workout. So you get yourself kind of tired so that the two movements that you actually do in the workout, which were like handstand push-ups and I was thinking jumping rope.
Yeah.
You're already tired. So the buy-in, that's called buy-in, the buy-in in CrossFit.
Got
so you burned out on the buy-in, which is amazing because that's what you're supposed to do first time.
Yeah. I was trying to burn so many calories in less than 2 minutes. And my gosh, I was just like, oh, I thought, you think things are going to be easier. But then you're like, oh, man,
right.
I'm pushing it.
It's one of those things too where it looks like it's not that hard, and then when you do, but until you do it, you're like, oh, okay, I regret all my decisions, my life decisions. But dude, that's so awesome.
Yeah,
though.
but it was worth it.
That's great, man. That's so cool. Yeah, I'm proud of you for doing it, and it's just fun. It's also a social thing, and it's good to move in a society where we do socialize a lot, and nothing against restaurants and bars, but maybe you don't do the healthiest of things to socialize with others. That's what I really like about it, is that it's healthy and social.
I learned that I think I pointed out that I'm not much of a runner, And yes, I do like to talk to people, but I'm not to the point yet where I can have a conversation while I'm running. So that was a thing. I was just jogging and somebody's like, "Oh, tell me about yourself." And I'm like, "Yeah, I can't really talk. I'm just trying to breathe here, you know?"
No,
So,
but it was
still nice.
That's not typical. Maybe in the warm up a little bit, there's some talking, but actually, that's what's so cool is
Maybe it was the warm up. So I just wasn't there yet.
no, but like when you're in it, people know not to approach you. Like
Yeah.
if you're like in the middle of the workout of
course,
the day,
yeah.
but like people won't talk to you. It's not I had to learn that. I was like, do they not want to talk to me? It's like, no, it's like a respect thing, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
There's all kinds of things.
Gotta
but,
respect.
man, it was super fun. It was super fun having you there. I did feel like, that meme where the Joker is showing Pennywise where everything is. He's the two clowns. I did kind of feel like that. Like, I'm not a coach or a trainer, but I was like showing you around the gym, but I just felt like I wondered how that looked to others.
No, it was nice. You and our friend Jared, shout out to Jared, shout out to Lindsay, for helping me out and showing me like, hey, this is where you can find things. And I appreciate that.
Yeah. But so we did that. That was super cool. And then, it's Easter weekend. So
Easter.
It was a lot of fun. It was more chill than, you didn't have Live at 5.
Yeah.
There was a band at Keg on Saturday, like kind of early. But other than that, everything was pretty low key.
Yeah, I went to Memphis for a couple days. Got to go see some family, hang out with my mom and her dog. She loves her dog.
Yeah. What kind of dog is it again?
It's a cockapoo.
A cockapoo. Yeah, that's totally made up name.
Yeah, and his name is Cooper.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you got to spend time with Coop
Yeah, old Cooper.
and Mom. Yeah, how was that? Did you boil crawfish?
I did. I took some crawfish up. We're trying to make it a tradition where the day before Easter, I'll kind of host a little crawfish bowl at my brother's house.
Yeah.
And I've learned past 2 years that I guess I should do better crawfish math because we've got a lot of crawfish and not enough eaters. I actually ran into a friend of the show, Keith Parsons, Dr. Keith Parsons. He'll actually be in town this weekend for Crawfish Jam coming up. So, yeah.
Nice. Oh, you ran into him in Memphis?
Yeah, his family's from Memphis, and usually we catch up sometimes if there's a holiday weekend. Sometimes he goes to visit. He was living in Wisconsin. Now he's back in Huntsville area.
Nice.
So back in the South.
Okay.
Cool. Old homie. Yeah.
Yeah, he'll be down. Yeah, Crawfish Jam, that's big.
Yeah.
So we got coming up this weekend, right? We have Friday is Live at 5 again.
Live at 5.
With the Deltamatics.
Yeah.
Which,
I can't wait.
That's how you know downtown is thriving. If the Deltamatics are gigging.
Hold up.
Yes.
If the Deltamatics are gigging,
yeah,
then downtown is thriving?
Think about it. Downtown's always is just hopping anytime the Deltamatics get together and play.
You're blowing my mind. I
don't know if that's a conspiracy or what, but it's just think about it, and you can't prove it otherwise.
I'm sure the Illuminati is involved somehow.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. The Hattiesburg Illuminati, for sure.
Yeah.
But, so Live at 5, Deltamatics, that'll be fun. And then Saturday's Crawfish Jam. You got to get your tickets now. You still have time.
Yeah.
You can click the link in the description.
Yeah, and you can get them in some places around town. I know Signs First has them. I believe Twin Forks and T-Bones Records.
T-Bones, yep. So if you
of T-Bones,
don't trust the internet.
There's a couple other things. If Crawfish Jam's not your thing, Saturday is Record Store Day at T-Bones Records and Cafe.
That's right. And then there's the Vintage Tea Dance. This is the Hattiesburg Arts Council, right? Featuring Larry Piniella and the Jazz Tets.
Yeah.
Food from the Depot Cafe and bartenders Randall and Mason from the Hippo. Yeah, it's a vintage tea dance at the Cultural Center.
Oh, cool.
Right there.
Yeah, it's like right there.
So that's on the 23rd as well. So if you're not eating crawfish, but you're downtown, you want to dress up nice, listen to some good jazz.
What time is it? Do you know?
I believe it's from 4 to 7.
Oh, nice.
But I could be totally wrong.
Well, that should, after the Crawfish Jam.
Yeah.
Tea dance.
Tea dance downtown.
Yeah.
But Crawfish Jam would be fun because we're okay. So Brittany Vassar's emceeing.
Yes.
And we may or may not.
We're like color commentary, I guess.
I'm just gonna.
We're there to give shouts out to the sponsors. I'm sure.
So so if this was a rap group, I'd get to be that guy who says the last word of every line.
I don't know. I feel like, how was the dynamic last year where you were the one who had the list and I was more like the guy who would.
You were the color commentator.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. You read the call and then I kind of give my take on it.
Yeah, because I had to hold the clipboard the whole time.
Yeah,
that's how I remember. Yeah, well, but I hope we don't annoy Brittany. That's what it feels like we're being set up to do. Is like yo co-commentate, and we're so ridiculous. I think it'll work.
Yeah,
but I do wonder how it will work.
We'll make it work.
Well, I know we will. But
yeah.
you know what I mean. It's like it's gonna be a fun surprise.
Yeah. Who knows? Just show up.
Yeah.
Get your tickets.
And then we're gonna do some man on the street interviews.
Yeah.
So we want you to get your tickets because if you want the chance to be interviewed while you're having a good time, and you could actually make the show. We'll do a segment on the show with people. Kind of like we did with Chili Cook-Off, which was a good time.
Good times.
So yeah, we'll be there doing that too, and that's always fun, man. That's all gas, no brakes, you know.
Woo woo.
Yeah. So yeah, man, it's a big weekend coming up. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Keep your ear to the ground there, and man, I don't know, like, is it time to just get Tyler on?
Let's bring him in,
dude. I'm so excited because he recorded this album. He's releasing singles on Spotify, and one of them has, at time of recording, over 500,000 streams. And then his latest single, High, that he just released, has 70-something thousand streams.
Okay.
This guy is not playing around, and it's really awesome to see somebody in Hattiesburg like absolutely killing it. I would love for those streams.
Yeah,
numbers,
I want to
man.
bring him on. You know, Tiz and I go back a little bit. Back when I used to perform with Decon in a little rap group called J-Con, Tyler would let us borrow his PA system so we could actually perform live at places. So.
Well, he's an awesome guy,
Yeah.
one of the nicest people of all time. So it's really nice to see people like that doing well and succeeding. So it's time to get him on. After this, singer-songwriter Tyler Tisdale.
Tisdale's on the show this week. Tyler Tisdale's on the show this week on the Hardy Street Boys. He is our guest this week, and he's gonna talk to us about music and about the stuff, about all country music and folk, rock, Americana, all the little things. Check the box, put it on Spotify. Next thing you know, you're on a playlist and someone's playing your music far away, and they're like, who is this? And I'm like, it's Tyler Tisdale. He's coming through your Spotify speakers, on your radio, or in the restaurant that you're hanging out at, and it's all on the thing. And he's about to do this interview with Drew now. Tyler Tisdale's on the show this week. That's our guest, and he's sitting next to me right now. Tyler Tisdale, yeah.
Thanks, Jamie. Yeah, on the show this week, as was so beautifully put by our house band, Jamie, Tyler Tisdale. Tyler, how are you today?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
Man, real excited to have you here.
I'm excited to be here, man.
Dude, you're killing the game, right? You put a record together, and you're gonna release it. You've been releasing singles, right? Singer-songwriter, play guitar, you sing. It's really impressive. But I want to know, how does somebody put a record together, right? And what kind of process is that like?
Well, there's so many different ways to go about it, honestly. What's really popular right now is live recording, like band all together in a big live room, and, capturing the moment, trying to capture what you do live. this was my first solo record though. And so, you know, we kind of decided early on that we wanted the, you know, my vocals and then bass and drums and then acoustic guitar to really drive the record. We wanted that to be, you know, the root of it. And I think we did a really good job with that. I think, you know, so like I went in and just did my acoustic guitar and my vocals. And I did some of that live, just playing, you know, recording both at the same time. And then some of it we went back. But we laid that down. And, you know, this was during COVID. So, you know, this was the weirdest way I've ever seen anybody go about recording a record. Because, you know, we used altogether 4 different studios, I think.
Really?
So I did my stuff at 2 different places. I did 8 of the tracks at Delta State University at the DMI building up there. We had a connection there, and they have a beautiful studio, by the way. It's like an old intramural basketball court, like gymnasium that they converted into this huge studio. So it's just a huge like live room basically. And there's like this igloo looking thing inside of it that's like the main control room, and it's awesome, man.
I want to see that. That sounds crazy.
It's really cool, man. I had a great time there. They got shut down for COVID, unfortunately. While we were like 8 songs in, and so we shut it down and came back, started regrouping. And Jones College just started their music program over there and built a really nice studio over there. And shout out to Matt McGuffey over there running the program. And he opened his doors to us. And so we got in there and finished up a couple more of my tracks, like the last 2 tracks I had to do. And then we did all of the guitar work, like lead guitar work in his studio. And some vocals, and then so the fiddle player played all of his stuff at home at his home studio, and basically sent us 3 takes of everything. He did fiddle and some backup vocals, and basically sent us 3 takes of everything, and then we chose what we liked and kept it and blended some of them even, and did some cool stuff with that. Keyboard player Del Smith, shout out to Del. He played all the keys on the record, and he did all his parts at home as well. We sat down, and so Steve Azar produced the whole record. So the whole time we're doing this, you know, he's on a TV on a Zoom session with us, and we had this plug-in. It's called Audio Movers, and you can listen in real time so there's no lag.
Oh, wow.
And it was really cool. Thank God for that technology. Chad Cromwell, who played drums on the record, he's Neil Young's drummer from like the early 80s on. He's played with literally everybody. He went into a studio in Nashville, and we Zoom sessioned in and used the plug-in to listen in real time. And you know, we did drums first after my acoustic stuff. We did me and then drums, and man, he brought the record to life. So shout out to Chad as well. He really did a great job, and it was awesome, obviously, getting to work with him as well. You know, legendary dude. And then Sean Murphy from Little Feat, she sang backup in Bob Seger's Silver Bullet Band, Eric Clapton's backup band. She's sang with everybody. She did 3 backup vocal takes on the record, so she's on 3 different tracks. That was a lot of fun getting to sing with her as well. I'm a huge Little Feat fan, so it was really cool getting to hang with her and you know, listening to her approach to it, and you know, she made it really special. So
do you feel like you got the full experience, like, because you are kind of stitching things together, not actually being in the room with people?
I'll probably never do it that way again, for being real. Right. But it is nice to know that you can still make a record with technology the way it is. You know, it's really cool knowing that, you know, in the middle of the country being shut down, you can still find a way to make a record. You know, so that was really cool. And you know, it was a lot of fun, and it was an experience for sure. But I think next time around, I'll definitely be back in the studio with everybody, you know, just it's fun being in the same room together and being creative together, and that's what it's all about. So I'm definitely planning to get back to that. Maybe even do some live recording on the next record, get a full band in there. But yeah, man, it's just I will say this. You ask about making a record, get a producer in the room when you make a record. It really helps, man. I know a lot of times your gut is to produce yourself, but you need that other person like fighting you on certain things. It's a good push and pull, somebody that's gets you and is comfortable with you, but having Steve produce the record really changed the game for me a little bit, just because he opened my eyes to a lot of things, and getting to see him work and do his thing, it really, I learned a lot, so now I'm more comfortable in the studio from that experience, so definitely I advise getting a producer along for the ride. It helps a lot.
Okay, so you're solo now, right?
Yeah.
But you have played in bands around the area. So what are some groups from Hattiesburg people might know you from?
Mainly Midnight Revel. I've done a couple other things that never really panned out, but Midnight Revel, I was with those guys for like 5 years. And we were on the road a lot, played a lot of shows. They are, Shelby and Daniel had started Royal Horses, so they've got their other band going. And Dell, who's got Lee's Coffee and Tea and Laurel, and he's got Organized Grime that he's in, Red and the Revelers from Mobile, and a couple other projects he's got going. I mean,
Dell stays busy.
He does, man. He's a
real
busy
busy
guy. He's a busy guy.
Yeah.
But, he's a great player, man, and I really love his ear for music and his approach. I love being in the studio with Dell. Dell was with me for the whole recording process. Like, he was another one that was, I went to him early on. I was like, you're kind of like my guy in the studio that I'm comfortable with. Like, I want you along for the ride, And so having him there brought me some comfortability, And, man, I just really respect his ear for music. And he's got his own home studio now and doing his own recording. And, man, he's mixing and mastering. He's doing all of it, man. He's got a great ear, man. And I hope to be in the studio with him again next time around.
Well, so I'm curious, like, what does it feel like going out, being the guy, right? So you've been in bands before, but now it's Tyler Tisdale, your name's on it, and it feels like, I'm just guessing, feels like that would be kind of an exposing type of situation where you're like, I really want to get this right. Did you feel the pressure going into it, and then also just kind of having to roll with the punches of COVID? I mean, because I asked that because it turned out great, man. You're killing it.
I appreciate
And the singles you've put out, She's the One is killing it on Spotify, and it sounds great. Actually, I was at the school telling somebody I was filming with you, and this kid, I don't even know who this kid is, 16-year-old kid. He goes, "Oh, I love Tyler Tisdale." So I just heard me talking about you, and then the song High, which another one just blowing up, man, doing so great. You have a good product, but going into it, did you know it, or did you at least have a feeling it was going to turn out the way it has?
So no, it was definitely a rebranding. It was definitely what I'm doing now is what I started out doing 10 years ago. When I first played started playing shows on my own, like, this is the solo acoustic thing was it for a while. And, it was a few years before Revel got started. Excuse me. And, man, it was definitely not playing the shows. Playing the shows is always like, that's home. I'm comfortable there. That's fine. But it was definitely when you're starting to get to the point of like really putting some music out, and you start getting to the point of like, all right, what's everybody gonna think? Like this is, and I didn't show a lot of people. Like it was, I had my core group of friends and family that got to hear it early on, but I really kind of played it close to the vest, and as far as before it came out, and I really wanted to get like an organic response on it, and it's been nothing but love, man. And it's been it's been very, what's the word? Like confirming of my belief in myself. You know what I mean? And I knew I've always known that like I had the work ethic and all that to accomplish my goals. But when you get someone like Steve who's seen a lot of success and has a lot of connections and can open doors for you, but just gets as excited about my music as I do. He gets just as pumped when we got a new single coming out, or when I send him a new song that I just wrote, or I just sent him one like 2 days ago and he flipped out about it. Like that feels good, and that having good people in your corner, man, that's such a big thing, because you're your own worst enemy, man, and you'll fight yourself tooth and nail if you don't have enough people being like, man, just shut up and do it. You know what I mean? And trust your gut, and so having a good team behind me, my fiance is a big supporter, and having someone like that, is key as well, man, telling you to go chase it and do your thing,
Yeah.
But but yeah,
huge,
man, it was a change of pace, but I took 2 years off of music, basically. Like I took 2 years, a year and a half more or less, of deciding what I really wanted to do, if I wanted to keep pursuing music, and if I was, what kind of music was I going to play. And towards the end of Midnight Rebel, I was still writing songs, thinking I was writing for the band, but like when the songs would be done, I'd play them, I'm just like, doesn't fit what we do, but this is what naturally is coming out. This is what I'm writing, right. This is, obviously where the direction I'm wanting to go in, so, and things had already started to fizzle out a little bit with the guys, and we were just burnt out too, 5 years of, every weekend hitting the road and going and playing, you'll get burnt out from time to time, man. It just happens. It's the grind, and they wanted to, pursue their other band, and I really wanted to see where these songs were headed, So it was, good timing for everything, and I really feel like taking the time to readjust and really figure things out. And while I was figuring that out, I met Steve, So like it was kind of just all perfect timing, It just kind of. And then right after I meet Steve, COVID hits, So it was really just like I was forced to just like take it slow, be patient. And, this record's been done for like a year, So, I mean, it's really, it's been a process, But that's what you have to do, to see the streams get where you want them to be. I put out a single, I'm pushing it for 3 or 4 months before the next one's coming out. So you really got to give it the time it deserves, because you might not see anything for the first month. It might just be a little bit, and then all of a sudden they start going up, and you're getting them put on the right playlist, like playlist curators. Everyone look into them. It can help your music a lot. I'm serious.
Yeah.
But it's the game now. It's changed a lot. We're not in the same music industry we're in 20 years ago. Like it's different, man. But it's more work on the artist, but it's better in the long run for the artist, because you own your music and you're in control of what direction you're headed in. And so it's I personally really like where the industry's at right now, as far as like these big companies, these big record labels, they all want 75% of the work to be done by the time you get to them, right? They want to come on, they want it to be easy, and they want to, then they can just plug you in and roll, and everybody starts making money. But the beauty of it is once you get to that point and you've got these labels knocking on your door, then you get to make a decision, a very important decision. Do you need them? You got this far. Do you want to go that route, or are you okay? And another big thing for me is, if I'm talking to, younger guys that are asking questions and starting out playing, I'm like, first of all, define what success is for yourself as far as music goes, because if I want to be famous and I want to have a lot of money and all that, that's your goal or whatever, like, you might as well just find something else to do, because that's not going to sustain, you know what I mean? But if your goal is to pay your bills, not have to work a job you hate, and, you just want to, be happy. If you got a wife and kids, just take care of your family. Those are realistic goals. Those are out there. You can play music and live a life like that and do something you love to do, You just got to invest in yourself. You got to, it's a business, man. There's a business side of it. And, it's not go out and party all weekend and, because that's not sustainable either, because you're in control of the business side of it now. It's not like you got, like you can go play, like, and some guy sitting there that's about to change your life, maybe it does still happen from time to time, but that's not really the way it works anymore, because they can just go to the internet and find you, right?
Well, what's it is cool because you can put out your own stuff and you can just, we do the same thing, it is a cool avenue, but it can get kind of frustrating knowing that everybody has that capability, right?
Yeah.
So it's like you do have to just kind of stick at it.
The market's much bigger,
but
the competition is a lot stiffer.
Oh yeah, because there's just there's so much more opportunity.
But the beauty of it is it doesn't have to be a competition, because if we're all lifting each other up and supporting each other, the bands that are successful out there, the ones that are like growing and seeing success, they're helping push other bands, and they're and networking with other bands, and they're all sharing each other's music and pushing each other up, creating playlists with each other's music on it, and stuff like that. Like, bands working together is what helps you reach the goal faster than viewing it as a competition. You know what I mean? And I know I say competition's tough, but I don't like that phrase. I say it a lot of times, and then I catch myself, and I'm like, I don't like that phrase, because it's not a competition. We should all be, pushing each other, man, because it's a community. It really is. And being a community is how we all end up being able to make a living. You know what I mean? I really, truly believe that. I want, if you want to do it, you can do it, but you got to have that serious side of it. You got to look at it like a business, man. You really do. That's such an important thing. And I'm learning a lot. Like I was saying before we got started, like I'm learning so much right now. And there's, parts of doing this that does feel like work. When you're getting books out and, you're keeping track of the money, and like you're, getting tax season comes along, like it's work, man. It's that none of it's fun. It's tedious. There's a lot of it. There's a lot of little things you have to pay attention to. We start talking about BMI and all that stuff. Like, you really start digging deep. There's so much stuff to keep track of. But come Thursday, you handle that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Come Thursday, you're out on the road playing shows and doing what you love to do and having a good time. It's always, you guys play shows and play music. Y'all know how fun it is. Like, so that's the reward, right? That's the let's go cut loose and be ourselves for a few hours, and not worry about any of it, But there's still work to be put in on the other side of it.
Yeah, of course.
I feel like guys forget that sometimes.
And there's a perception too that because the job is different or it looks fun, that all you're doing is like playing,
right?
And like messing around. And that's good because you enjoy it enough to think it's easy, but it's not. It's the perception is not necessarily the reality. So you feel like you're supported, though. You have a team, even though you're a solo artist. You have a team to support you. You're not doing it alone.
100%.
And also, you talk about bands supporting each other. Do you feel that love at especially like an event like Homegrown Revival where you played?
Oh, man.
It's such a great community. Everybody's really tight knit. There's there's lots of words you could associate with that event, but competition would not be one of them. Because it's such a warm and welcoming environment. Do you feel that in the Pine Belt?
More than anywhere else in the country that I've been or played music at. Hattiesburg is a special place. And I say that wholeheartedly. Like, it truly is. There are people here that you just don't meet in other places. I don't know what it is, but like, it's just, I don't know, something in the water is a little different down here, man. It really is. Everybody's so open-minded and welcoming and just so supportive, man. The bands around, you talk about not being a competition. Thank God it's not, because there's so much talent around here, man. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many good songwriters and so many just rocking bands around here that, you know, we keep ourselves entertained, you know, pretty easily because of all the talent, you know, just right here. And you know, like Homegrown, you know, that's such a special, you know, time of year, getting to go out there. Just shout out to the Puckets, man, for doing that and you know, giving us a you know, a place to play, and especially when things were so uncertain for a while. You know, they were doing like alleyway shows and all kinds of stuff for musicians, man. It was beautiful to see. But yeah, man, once you get out there and you get out in those woods, man, it's just it's a different experience, man. And everybody is just supporting everybody, man. It's like I see so many musicians like just, you know, drooling over each other, like, oh, this bass player's, you know, have you seen that guy? Holy crap, you know, like that's just, you know, the vibe out there. We're all just supporting each other and loving each other. And, you know, it's funny, you know, we're all doing the same thing every weekend and in different places. We hardly ever get to see each other and hang out, you know, except for Homegrown. Once Homegrown hits, you're out there all weekend. Like, every musician that comes and plays at Homegrown takes the whole weekend off just about and hangs out, sets up camp, you know, like, and so we all just hang out and get to see each other and catch up and just spend time together. And man, it's a special time of year. It really is. I love it out there.
Well, it also, you know, highlights the importance of community and just being around each other. You know, like we talk about all the events coming up and how excited we are about them, but it also, like, from an artistic standpoint, like, the fact that you could put this album out, given all that was going on in the world at the time, is, like, incredibly impressive. And the fact that it turned out as good as it did, you know, your stuff is good.
I appreciate
it's impressive.
Man.
There's lots of people who have recorded albums during peacetime, and it was terrible. You know, it's like, go back, start again. It's fine. Good try, start again. So the fact that you've gotten to do that, man, is incredibly impressive. And, you know, we're super proud that you're from here, because it's just selfishly we get to claim you.
Oh, man, I appreciate that. I really do.
It's really cool to hear about the process, and it's really cool to talk about being a musician, but what really matters is you can play. So I think it'd be cool if you would actually play for us a little bit.
Absolutely, man. I would love to.
Heck yeah. Well, that means after this, Tyler Tisdale is going to play for us live in front of a studio audience. This episode is brought to you by Tim Weinberg.
Tim.
Alpha Insurance.
Alpha Insurance.
He's Agent of the Year. Look, just pretend I'm Tim. I know I'm not Tim. I'm clearly Drew, but pretend I'm Tim. Personal and professional service is something I promise to each and every customer, me personally. When you walk through our door, you're not just another face. You're part of our Alpha family. Not only are you trusting in Alpha, but it is my job, me, Tim, to make sure your family has peace of mind for all their insurance needs. So whether it's life, home, auto, or commercial insurance, I'm here to protect you, me personally, with what you value most.
Where'd Drew go?
Okay, no, I'm Drew. I was Drew the whole time. I was just pretending.
I thought you were Tim.
No, that was me acting.
Oh my gosh.
Right? It was good, huh? Alpha Insurance, Tim Weinberg, he's the agent for you. He's the #1 agent in the company. That's like a regional company, guy from Mississippi, bringing it. If you want insurance, and if you're like driving a car and you don't have insurance, hate to break it to you, that's illegal. Give him a call at 601-928-9005. That is
601-928-9005.
Nailed it. First take.
That's right.
Well, she's the one, probably the only one who don't think I'm just plain crazy. Well, she understands, maybe she's the the only one who can make me wanna dance. I know it's hard to love someone who's always on the run. Just know that this winding road leads me home to you. She can make mistakes, pretty sure don't take much from me to burn away her fuse. She always forgives me, grabs my face, kisses me, and I'm there, right where I belong. I know it's hard to love someone who's always on the run. Just know that this winding road leads me home to you. Can't wait to take a hand, make promises of the man that I know I'm gonna be someday. Yeah, and here we are, nice house, couple cars and a wooden fence, built just for the girls. I know it's hard to love someone who's always on the run. Just know that this winding road leads me home to you. Oh, it's hard to love someone, yeah, who's always on the run. Just know that this winding road leads me home, leads me home, leads me home. Thank y'all very much. Thank y'all for having me.
Tyler Tisdale, if it's all the same to you, May 13th, go to your favorite local record store and get it. Go listen to him online, support him. Thanks, Tiz. Man, you sound great.
Appreciate you, brother.
That's it. We're the Hardy Street Boys. We out.